Officials in Pulaski County speak with the suspect in a triple shooting case. And President Biden outlines plans to get humanitarian aid flowing into the Gaza Strip.
And after a stretch of dry weather, some much-needed showers are on the way. Those details coming up as Mountain News First at 4 continues.
Mountain News First at 4 continues.
Detectives have spoken with a triple shooting suspect who's accused of killing 2 people and injuring another in Pulaski County. Austin Prather remains in an Indiana jail after he was captured there Wednesday night. The 20-year-old is accused of murdering his father and grandfather and seriously injuring his grandmother at their homes in Science Hill. Police say they have learned more as to why Prather fled to the Evansville, Indiana area.
He had gotten a hold of someone up there, and that person had assisted him with, from where information is right now, maybe getting up there. We don't really know for sure at this time, but he was located at an apartment up there.
Jones says they, along with help from state police and U.S. Marshals, were able to ping Prather's cell phone in locating him. We will have much more about this case tonight at 6.
Well, we are tracking some higher rain chances into tonight, also on Friday, but for now, the hazy skies do continue across the region. Here's a live look from London to Hazard to Pikeville. We are watching out for some clouds to increase, but also some hazy conditions as well. Those current temperatures also a little bit cooler on Thursday in the middle to lower 60s at this hour. And that hazy sky is causing some lower air quality in some areas. You can see in that yellow color some moderate air quality. So again, we are tracking that to continue into this evening, also into tonight, before some increased rain chances in the extended forecast later on tonight, also on Friday. But for now, those temperatures in the middle to lower 60s, up to 62 in Jackson, 67 for Manchester, 63 over in London at this hour. Up on the radar for most of us, we are dry, also cloudy. But we are zooming into a few light showers in the Cumberland Valley, close to Somerset, also Monticello and Wayne County. But as we zoom out, we are tracking some widespread light showers over portions of Tennessee, also into Arkansas. That will continue pushing off into our direction. So more showers on the way into tonight, also on Friday, and some beneficial rain chances on the way. Those details coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Cameron, thank you. Israeli strikes pounded Gaza City overnight as ground forces battled Hamas militants in urban neighborhoods near a hospital where tens of thousands of Palestinians are sheltering. Gaza's largest city is the focus of Israel's campaign to crush Hamas following its deadly October 7th assault. The White House says Israel will begin implementing 4-hour pauses of military operations in Gaza each day. This is meant to allow humanitarian assistance to get into the besieged enclave and allow civilians to get away from the fighting. The pause is less than what President Joe Biden has been asking for.
We're hopeful. Things are moving along.
Did you ask for a 3-day pause to Netanyahu?
You know, I've been asking for a pause for a lot more than 3 days. Yes.
Did you ask him to pause for 3 days to get the hostages out for that
Yes.
length of time?
I've asked for even a longer pause for some of them.
More than 200 civilians, including several Americans, are still being held hostage in Gaza. The president ordered more airstrikes on targets in Syria in retaliation for attacks on U.S. forces in Syria and Iraq carrying out anti-terrorism activities. CBS's Natalie Brand has more on that from the White House.
The U.S. carried out airstrikes in eastern Syria on what the Pentagon says was a weapon storage facility used by Iran's Revolutionary Guard.
Mr. President, why did you strike Iran's Revolutionary Guard?
Because they struck us.
And President Biden,
You plan to hit them again?
They struck us.
There have been at least 4 more attacks on U.S. forces in Iraq and Syria since the strike, resulting in what the Pentagon says are a few minor injuries. All of those hurt have returned to duty. From October 17th until now, Iranian-backed forces have carried out 46 attacks on U.S. bases. The Pentagon says it remains concerned about potential escalation in the region. The administration is trying to prevent that while also defending U.S. forces.
We're not looking for conflict with Iran. We've made that very clear.
but we'll do what's necessary to protect our personnel, be they military or civilian.
These attacks have been on the rise since the Israel-Hamas war began, with about half happening after the first U.S. airstrike in Syria on October 26.
We have sent a strong signal, not just to Iran, but to other actors in the region, that we don't want to see this conflict with Hamas widen or deepen. And thus far, we haven't seen that happen.
The U.S. has increased its military presence in the Middle East for deterrence, in addition to the nearly 3,500 U.S. service members in Iraq and Syria as part of a coalition to defeat ISIS. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
The Pentagon says Iranian-backed Houthi rebels in Yemen shot down an American Reaper drone worth about $30 million. The Houthis claim the drone was in Yemeni airspace, but a U.S. defense official says the drone was in airspace over international waters. Coming up on First at 4, more Americans are going deeper into credit card debt and racking up record high balances.
Plus, the drought continues to worsen across the region, but we are watching out for some beneficial showers later tonight. Those details coming up.